I tried really hard. I could not find a nightgown in budget, which was $20. So,
Come on now.
no, but we're talking. You can cut it, just like. My name is Deborah, and I am Sassy Mare's costume designer, production designer, and sometimes actress. I fell into costume design accidentally in college, my first semester. I originally started designing sets, but then one of the projects was Turn of the Screw, but it was the opera version, and it was a psychological Victorian gothic supernatural novel. And so I did the costume design for that, and my professor was like, you have, like, this was really good. I mean, the drawings were horrendous. The design was correct in terms of the time period, and I had the horror element of the costuming done. And then from there, I kind of just started doing costuming in college. But I was always interested in it. Inspired the prequels to Star Wars. No, I'm serious. Like, I had the special edition episode 1, this little box set that came with the pre-production artwork, and they had the costume designs for all of the characters in it, and so I was obsessed with that. Okay, so I don't like, no, let me rephrase this. For Ben's episode, even though we had to work within reality, I love whimsical vampire old school horror. I love Tim Burton aesthetic, that German expressionist surrealist vibe. That's what I would ideally like to do. However, we are working within reality, and so I was like, I'm going to get a striped duvet for his bedding. That was my homage to Tim Burton in my head. I was like, this is as creepy as I can get it to be. And although it's not exactly the kinds of stripes I would want, I thought it would work with this character. I decided to give him a neutral grayscale palette with blues and grays. And we ended up using that for the sync effect, which was a coincidence. It wasn't planned. It just worked out that as we raised the duvet, the stripes kind of created this carnival effect that I thought was really cool and that I really liked. So I got to have some of my aesthetic thrown in there unintentionally. So that was cool. My episode with Sonia, that one was a little more fun. I was trying to play with that one a little more. I was inspired by Nightmare on Elm Street. I originally wanted to put her in the see-through nightgown, that polyester see-through nightgown that she wears at the beginning of the film before she gets killed. There's like that backdrop where the light shines and she's not wearing any underwear underneath. Very sexy. But I was like, oh, if she's like in this cool nightgown, it'll be like a little homage to that. Could not find a nightgown. It's just, I don't know, like they must have made that for her or something. So instead I was like, okay, can't find her in this gown. Also, I felt a little bit old-timey because it wasn't an 80s type of gown. So I found a Nightmare shirt, threw that on, got her some boxers that kind of had Freddy's colors as close as possible, some stripes. So there was a lot of thought behind it, even though it's just a t-shirt, even though it's just a t-shirt and like boys' underwear. So it was fun. For Michelle, I had picked a completely different outfit and then I forgot it that day. Oh my God. That was such a stressful moment. It's like as I got to the house, I like had a movie flashback of where the bag was in my living room next to the door that I forgot to grab it. So one of the most important things was we had a borrowed set. It was a bedroom, and so I had to work with what was available. We couldn't paint the walls, and they were this yellow. No, which is fine. When you have a space that you don't have a lot of control over, I had to figure out how I could decorate it and without having to make any holes in the walls. So I kind of just decided that Michelle's character was just like a fun girl. I almost had a feeling in my mind that it was like a farmhouse kind of situation. So it was like the pale yellow walls. I got these white oatmeal curtains, linen curtains. We decorated with the moths that are behind me. And so I kept the palette to yellow, white, and gray to the best of my abilities. So that's how I designed her room. And then since I forgot her wardrobe at my house, Jordan drove me to Target, and I very quickly got a couple of options, brought her back, and I put her in a feminine, like, floral pajama set. So I didn't want her, like, wearing an oversized t-shirt and underwear. I felt like she would probably have something a little cuter. It would be cool if we were able to tackle the more warped, dreamlike sequences that happen, but that's obviously a higher scope of production and money. But sometimes just the most minimal ones set in reality, like the one where I was an actress, that's very much based in real life. That really is like, you don't know if you are asleep or if you're awake. When you're in a complete dream world where the walls are different colors and there's different shapes, then you know, like, that's a nightmare. Another scenario where it's daytime and you're just laying in bed with your eyes open is a scarier situation because you don't know what reality you're in.